Welcome to Building the Future of Work Together, the podcast where we explore how we can build the future of work with neurodiversity in mind. Have you heard that 50% of Generation Z identify as neurodivergent? But 50% of organisations wouldn't consider employing neurodivergent candidates. Yes, we didn't like that last statistic either, and we want to make a change. So, join me, Lucy Smith, as I interview inspiring guests who share their unique insights and experiences. We're going to bust some myths and start conversations so that we can help build a more inclusive and innovative future of work. Hi, it's Lucy here from Inclusive Change. I'm here talking about our mission to build the future of work with neurodiversity in mind. So today I've got a guest with me, Kate from Dedik8 Collective. So thinking about your business and thinking about helping others to set up a business that might suit them as a VA, for their family, etc. What changes did you make to your business practices to make it more inclusive?
You have the really obvious things, well, obvious to me, things like fonts, how I would send emails, making them dyslexia friendly, making sure that you don't send huge garbled emails without the points being really clear. Historically, I probably would have been that person to have sent a War and Peace email and not given it too much thought, whereas more experience I had and the more conversations I had with neurodivergent individuals, realizing that they would all have their own preferences, but to actually understand that from day one as to what their preferences are, and to actually ask the question, what are your email preferences? How would you prefer I communicated with you? It seems like a really simple question, but one that very rarely actually gets asked. So I've built that into part of my initial conversations with my clients to understand actually what they want from me and how they prefer to take information in. A lot of my clients hate telephone calls. It would scare them to death and they wouldn't answer me. So that in itself seems like a really simple change, but it's had a massive impact on my clients. So what works for me isn't about what works for me. It's about what works for my clients.
Yeah. And you do have to work with them a bit, probably in the first sort of 6 to 8 weeks, to get an understanding of what works for a client, because many neurodivergent clients will do a thing called masking, which might mean that they don't show or say what they're really thinking and feeling. They say what they think you need to hear and want to hear.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
so a client might say, yes, no problem, you can text me, or yes, I'll use that. But actually, as soon as they've said it, they'll be going, I don't want to do that. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
And so giving them the option, but also enabling them and empowering them to understand it's okay to say what your needs are.
Yeah.
Because I will help you with
that. And on a parallel to that, also helping them and me to be aware of those boundaries, to be aware that I'm not going to be emailing them at 10 o'clock at night, that they also can't necessarily email me at 11:30 because they're awake and expect me to reply. I think it's very easy, and it probably links back to what we were saying about the challenges. I think it's very easy if you are around and if you have email on your phone and things to reply in that scenario. I've had to learn to put do not disturb on my phone at a certain point to make sure that my clients are aware of my working days and aware of those times when I won't reply, because naturally I am a person that likes to give and likes to provide support. Sometimes it could be quite easily to tip the balance.
And similarly, something that comes out of that, we've got boundaries where you're putting those boundaries in place. But as a VA, as a self-employed VA, you are able to say, no, I'm not the right VA for you.
100%.
And you are able to say no to clients.
Yeah.
And one of your reasons might be because they need support 5 days a week.
Yeah, and it's a case of, I know what I can provide, and I know from these conversations that I'm having initially, because I'm doing a lot more of a initial call with a client to fully understand, I know normally at point A or B, I'm probably not the best fit for them. So I can then pass them to people like yourselves that maybe have the facility and the functionality to do more, and can give the support that I can't. So it's a lot of self-awareness on my part, especially being new.
Yeah.
I think a lot of VAs instinctively go, oh, I started with no clients, so I'll just take a client, I'll just take any client. And whilst in practice and financially, that's great, that I'm trying to step away from burnout. I'm not trying to give myself more. So
There's no point in burning yourself out.
what I ultimately do is burn the client out by trying to keep on top of me, and that's not the intention at all. So it doesn't work for anybody.
So how do you plan to continue evolving your business now?
For me, it's being able to see my clients get to a point where they either don't need me or they need me less would be brilliant. There are a lot of my clients at the moment, I think there will always be an element of need or a level of need, but to see them go from maybe needing so much support at the beginning to actually being empowered to the stage that they're doing it themselves, or they've built a team because their business has grown, or that they have decided that they want to diversify and go into something else. For me, it's incredible to see both that confidence and that in a practical situation, but also to help with other VAs in knowing how they can get to this type of role, how they can diversify their business, how they can be mums that want to get away from the corporate world but don't know how, to help empower them at the same time as empowering my clients. And a lot of these mums may be neurodivergent themselves. So knowing they see that as a barrier. I've got ADHD, my child's got ADHD, I've got no time to work, I can't fit things around them, but actually getting them to see that there are other options.
And they could do this kind of work.
Absolutely, yeah.
And be blooming good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, my life experience has been massive in helping me understand, and it also continues to be massive in helping me be a better parent, because I can see the impact that life has on my clients, even as adults, and what that looks like in the working world. And it's got me thinking a lot more about how I can help my children going forward with that.
I think I'm going to give you a bit of a testament to that kind of impact. And this comes from my family. Both of my children are neurodivergent, and my eldest is 18. She recently said to me, Mum, I know that I can do anything I want to because you've shown me that you can do that. The life experiences that I've had, the things that we've done, and I've done before I had children and after I've had children, had literally given her that inspiration and opportunity to say, I can do stuff. I know I'm going to need support in certain areas, but if I choose to go and do something in a particular career or hobby, I know I can do it if I want to. I just have to put the effort in to do it.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And that's what comes out of that working, about being able to demonstrate that we can do these things, and we don't just go, oh, okay, we're just going to stop, or we're going to give up, because it's difficult sometimes, isn't it? Being a send parent, working, trying to keep it all going, it can be really hard.
Yeah, absolutely. But for me, work is also where I become me, as opposed to mum. So well, the fact that I get to do that whilst being me as well is brilliant.
Absolutely. So I want to draw in a bit to how we can help other people who might want to step into the world of being a VA, or take their VA business and diversify so that they can support clients who are neurodivergent.
Yeah.
What have we got coming up, Kate? What can we do?
We are running 2 workshops. One completely for anybody that's brand new to the VA world, brand new to thinking, is their life outside of what they're currently doing, whether they're working already or whether they're not. It will be a ground level, what you need to know, how to get you set up, and helping to try and get rid of some of the myths and the unknowns around working as a VA, particularly with a neurodivergent community.
And it's kind of cutting through all the information that's out there, because there's a lot of information.
There is, and there's a lot of brilliant information, and there's a lot of really amazing people doing amazing things. But because I knew I wanted to work specifically with this particular client base, I couldn't find anything that was specific to that. And
so here we are.
There are a lot of factors to consider that I think are maybe different to those outside of a normal VA business. So it's just helping you to be aware of those and helping you to not maybe make some of the mistakes that I made, but also having some of the understanding to make you feel both a lot more equipped, but also the practical steps to take to get there.
Brilliant. And what about the second course, the one that it's maybe you're a VA already, but you're thinking, how can I diversify my business and take it to a different client base?
Yeah, it's helping to make you aware of those things that maybe you don't think about or that you can't find the information for elsewhere, how to help adapt what you currently do to neurodivergent clients, how to understand a bit more around the legalities and the ethics behind that, how to utilize funding, things like access to work, and how that works in practice as opposed to what you're going to read on a website. There are a lot of positives, but there are also a lot of negatives to be aware of. So it's just trying to help you feel more equipped to diversify and to take that in the next step to working with a new set of clients. However, also utilizing those amazing skills that you've already got as a VA and how that would maybe look differently on a different client base.
Amazing. I cannot wait to do these.
End of September and end of October. So that there will be workbooks, there will be downloads, there will be conversations, opportunities to ask questions directly to both yourself and myself who have been doing it, who have a huge amount of experience working with neurodivergent clients.
Yeah.
And it's a safe space for you to come and ask those questions that maybe you don't want to put on Facebook groups in public, or that you don't have access to anybody to be able to have that platform to ask the question. And we are open books. We will give you the answers that we can, and it will be a really lovely time to work through all of that together.
I cannot wait. I think September the 26th is our first one. We will put details of how to book and how to join and get online to join us at the end of September for that one, and the one for October as well. So you'll hear lots more about this over the next few months, because we will literally not stop talking about it. I feel really passionately about this. I think neurodiversity, as on the more understanding and awareness is out there for sure. And more people are recognizing that they are neurodivergent. And that means more and more people are saying, hang on a minute, can I get some support? Therefore, we need to have people who are equipped, skilled, and knowledgeable to be able to support those people, because it's not great if we work with people who haven't got those skills, knowledge, and experience.
Yeah, and it's the whole point of the reason that we're doing them the way that we're doing them, so that they're interactive workshops and that they're conversational as well, helps to bring those situations to the forefront, to make you aware of them before you maybe take the step and get too far into it and then think, oh, we're not sure how to get out of this, or how do we manage this situation. So hopefully by the time you get there, you will have done all of this and had all this information and done this session, so you know exactly what to do.
Yeah. Thank you. Kate, I'm going to stop there. How can people get hold of you if they'd like to get hold of you and talk about Dedik8 and talk about you working with them as a VA?
By all means, drop me an email. It is kate@dedik8-collective.com, or I'm always open to conversations on LinkedIn. So please come and find me.
Brilliant. I'm going to call this part of our chat to a close at the moment. So you've been listening to Lucy and Kate. I'm from Inclusive Change, and we've been talking about neurodivergent VAs or virtual assistants. I'm not even sure if we've mentioned the word virtual assistant. We've just mentioned VA throughout most of this interview. So there we go. Listen to the end and you get to find out what VA actually means. If you want to find out more information, check us out on our socials. Check me out on LinkedIn. You can find me under Lucy Smith. I think if you look for Inclusive Change, you will also find us too. We've also got a website, inclusivechange.co.uk, where we will put information about our upcoming training course. You can check us out and hopefully join us in September and October for our courses. Thank you so much, Kate.
Thank you. Lovely to chat to you.
Hey, thanks for listening to Building the Future of Work Together. We hope you feel inspired to embrace neurodiversity in your workplace, start conversations, and make change happen. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and join us next time as we continue to explore how we can build the future of work with neurodiversity in mind.